Greetings, free thinkers. How are you doing today on this fine and lovely day? I hope you are riding your lockup like a soldier and you are trying to do all you can to stay positive during this time of lockdown. I'm sure that it will come to an end soon enough. I certainly hope it does. Okay, on this episode we have for you collated footage of police actions during this lockdown. Now we're going to have a debate. I ask you to watch this video in its entirety and to watch it with an open mind. We're going to see some footage that I believe, in my own opinion, is police heavy-handedness and unnecessary, draconian and authoritarian behaviours, and others where the people that they have arrested have gone way over the line and have acted like complete and utter morons. So we have the best of both worlds. We have some footage that, in my opinion, is demonstrating the police are out of order, and some that the people that they are trying to arrest are out of order. But what I want to do is start discussion. I want to know from you. I want to know if you think that they are in the right or in the wrong. So without further ado, let's get on to the first clip.
Mark, you're harassing me. What for? I haven't done nothing wrong. Tell these, mate. What one?
No, you've done nothing wrong.
Give me the definition of harassment. Give your details. You want me to go? Give me the key. Sit in your car, shut up. And if you want to fucking step to me and pull in your chest out, stuff like that, then fine. I'll lock you up. We'll do that, shall we? I'll make something up. Pull the recorder. Score up to a police officer. Shall I do that? Who are they going to believe, me or you? Who are they going to believe, me or you? You can film all you want.
Yeah, I will do, mate. Don't worry about it.
Show some respect, Charlie.
Am I allowed to film? No, you're filming, so just let me film. I want to film, because you're filming.
So we asked for your details you refused to give them. So we arrested you.
You arrested me.
So if you can give your details to the colleague.
So my first name is Samuel.
Yeah.
Samuel.
Yeah.
And my surname is Jack, Jack.
Yeah, no, have you got anything for me with ID on, Jack?
I got my bank card.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I asked you if you had any ID on you and you refused.
But that's none of your business. It's not a police state. It's not a police state,
No,
though,
we're
is
not
it?
saying it's a police state.
We're just asking people to move on.
Well, you
Yeah,
can check me, or you can check me, that's
Yeah,
fine.
they're going to be checking all the details. What's your date of birth?
23rd February 1991.
Okay, so we've brought out the big guns straight away. That's what you saw there was, in my opinion, justifiably disgusting on the police's part. Now, I know that the police and the police services are vital in any civilization. You have to have one. If you don't, you've got two choices. You've got either martial law permanently, because you'll need someone to maintain law, and if you don't have a police force, it's going to have to be military. And throughout history we've seen that can end up in an even worse situation than what you've just seen on your screen. And the other choice would be to have no type of law, which would be complete and utter anarchy, and no one who has got at least 2 brain cells to rub together like that with would ever recommend living in a lawless society as something that is positive. We know, well, you don't even need to think about it. You need some sort of order, because without order you have disorder. That being said, and I appreciate I digressed quite a bit there, what the policeman you saw there did was to essentially fit up and frame an innocent man who was only going out to the shops to get supplies. Now, the often cited excuse by the authorities for stopping people and either telling them to go home, ordering them to go home, and if they refuse, outright arresting them, is that you're only supposed to go out for essentials. However, what is essential to you might not be essential to me, and what is essential to me might not be essential to you. So it is one huge grey area. That being said, the policeman in question has absolutely no right to, in his own words, make something up. with which to arrest the man. And the second clip you saw was another man who ostensibly got told to quote unquote move along, because he was, for whatever reason, stood outside a shop, and in this current climate we are in, merely standing still outside in a public place for what the police deem too long will result in you being told to move on immediately. Sorry, my voice is going at the moment, that's why I sound a bit screechy. Anyway, let's move on to the next set of clips.
Put your heads down. Honest to God, yeah. Coronavirus. Got it, mate. Right, okay.
And while he was on the floor in handcuffs, he sort of leant forward to us and said, "That COVID-19, I've got it," and coughed in mine and my colleagues' faces, which ultimately led to his arrest for assaulting an emergency services worker and led to his 12 weeks imprisonment. Obviously, myself and my colleagues are scared of catching it. It's not just catching it for ourselves, it's the fact that we have families, we have partners, we have children that we don't want to subject them to something we've got at work. It makes life, especially as a police officer, a lot more lonely.
What I'll say to you is, right, you're going like that, and I swear to God, you're going to jail. You don't understand the meaning of the caution? There's been an allegation that you've gone at him with a knife and also damaged his car, going absolutely berserk with 2 bricks in your hand. I did. Right, that is an affray in itself, so that's why you've been arrested. Alright, take everything out of what he's done and what he said, that's why you've been arrested. Alright? Now, well, let us investigate what's gone on there, right? In the meantime. We had! Yeah, sit yourself down. What I'll say to you is...
Now we are going on the completely opposite end of the scale. What you just saw was sickening, right? You have 2 different people, these 2 different clips, who have been arrested for entirely unrelated issues. That's important. That's an important point to make out. They were getting arrested for either being drunk in one person's case and disorderly, and in the other person's case, in the woman from Scotland, she was arrested. Of course she was drunk as well, but she was arrested for an affray for causing a physical disturbance where somebody was injured. They then, for whatever reason only known to themselves, they certainly weren't escaping. Whether they're escaping the police or justice, that's not coming into question. In fact, as you saw in the clip, one man, eventually the man who got arrested for being drunken, actually ended up serving 12 weeks in prison. He was sent to prison for 12 weeks for coughing on police who are just trying to do their jobs. Now, the first 2 clips you saw where the police were, in my opinion, out of order for what I believe was a grave overreach on the one instance, telling the man to go home when he was merely standing outside a shop minding his own business. He'd probably been cooped up inside all day. But the other clip, especially where the policeman said he would fit up a man, those aside, people like the 2 you've just seen where they're coughing on innocent police officers trying to go about their job do us no favours whatsoever. When we are here saying that we have rights we were born with, okay, rights going way back to at least the signing of the Magna Carta, that are being trampled on for what is in essence a pandemic that is in a long line of other pandemics stretching back decades and centuries. Why this one is being treated different, I don't know. However, that being said, these 2 morons do us no favour when we try to speak out against overly authoritarian actions by public officials who in many cases have not been elected. They do us no favours whatsoever, and what they were trying to achieve by coughing on them, I don't know, but that is sickening and disgusting. Anyway, let's move on to the next batch of clips.
She saw how they handled themselves.
How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, sir?
If I can see your license, I'm giving you an opportunity to move city ordinance right now. We're giving citations. This is a gathering, even though you're in your vehicle. If I can see your license, sir, I give you an opportunity to move now.
The ministers went to the house of the Lord. The way the servants went to the house of the Lord. Listen, it meant something to them. It means something to me. You know, I just love to go to church. The church. Jesus loved the church. Jesus.
So even though the governor said twice today that you can't stop in parking lot church services, y'all still going to try to stop it?
I'm not aware of that.
We was not to comply. They forcing us to make human contact. It makes a lot of sense. Somewhere right now in the city of Greenville, real crime is going on. They got half of the police squad in Temple Baptist Church. 70 and 80-year-old people, most of them's never even had a speeding ticket. But this is a better use of Greenville's resources. A retired nurse. Never bothered nobody. Being threatened to go to jail for going to church.
Okay, sir, here's your license. I need your signature here.
Is this an official ticket?
Yes, it's an official ticket. You get a copy. Your court date, 8 June of 2020 at 9 a.m. at 302 Main Street.
Thanks, sir. You have a blessed night. Just handed a ticket by a man with no gloves. Gave me an ink pen to sign it. He was not wearing gloves. We was complying 100% with the governor's ordinance on COVID-19, and they come and force us not to comply. They force us to make human contact. Your city dollar.
And those clips there were from the United States. I know I have a lot of United States viewers and subscribers. Much love to you guys from across the pond here in good old United Kingdom. I love you guys. If I led my life again, I would actually move to the United States earlier in my early 20s when I had the chance, but that is neither here nor there. So what you saw there was yet more examples of what, in my opinion, is police, not brutality is not the word, but police overreaching. Now, when it comes to helping people or wanting to help people or wanting to keep them safe, you have to weigh that against whether, one, you are smothering people with this quote-unquote protection, and two, if you are infantilizing them and taking away their inherent right basically to make their own decisions, because a totalitarian and authoritarian society is at its core a society where people, adults, essentially cannot make their own decisions. They are forbidden from making their own decisions. And if you have a situation where liquor stores are open and where you can buy lottery tickets and liquor, but churches are not open, and I've said this before on my other videos regarding this topic, churches and religion in general, regardless of what religion you are, throughout history, religion has played a large part in soothing the anxieties and the fears and the doubts and the worries of an entire populace, time and time again, whether it's pandemic or war or pestilence or famine, you name it. The four horsemen of the apocalypse has always been countered by devotion and faith to a particular religion, and that is one area in which people who are of a particular faith really have an edge over atheists. I am myself agnostic, so I'm a bit in both camps when it comes to that, but I'm not going to digress on my religious beliefs or my opinions on afterlife, because it has nothing to do with the subject at hand. The point I wanted to make was, one, the importance of religion during times of crisis, and two, the fact that you have what looks like half the police department outside a church. Whilst people are out burgling, you'll know, because the crime figures are up across the board. But whilst people are out burgling and doing God knows what else, the police are turning up en masse to churches to record people and take down their license plates, which is basically a form of intimidation. When someone's walking around taking license plates instead of arresting people, one, it just shows that they haven't committed a crime. There's nothing really to arrest them for. And two, that is, in my opinion, an act of intimidation. And before you guys go, I have a final thought for you here. There has been an update to the first clip you saw, in which the police officer in the United Kingdom said that he would fit a man up and have him arrested for a crime he didn't commit. He would essentially make a crime up and lie in court and lie to his superiors in the police department, which is, of course, a crime. There's multiple crimes he would be committing there, but I suppose it's okay. I suppose it's right when he does it, but it's not okay when someone else does it. That tends to be the mentality with people like that. Now, and isn't it good that we have cameras to record? Because, and you saw him at the end, he goes, you film mate, quote unquote, because he knows he's been caught. He knows he's been caught on camera. He can't backtrack though. However, if that exchange was not caught on camera, you know as well as I do that it would never be brought up. There would never be an apology, which is what this is that I'm showing you here, because it's been updated in the local press. Now, as you guys know, and a lot of you probably agree, the mainstream media are terrible. However, here in the United Kingdom, the local news, the locals, which this is the local Fleetwood newspaper's website, which is the area in which this happened. They're updating the chief constable, no less, has apologised after an officer threatened to make up something to charge an innocent driver who was going out to the shop. But the police decided to pull him over, find out where he's going, and they deemed that he wasn't going to shop for stuff that he decided was not essential. But as I told you before, what is essential to you and what is essential to me are two different things. Lancashire police have apologised and launched an investigation after the footage on social media appeared to show an officer threatening to fabricate a charge to lock a young man up. He was pulled over by police yesterday afternoon after returning to buy a quad bike for his stepson. It is believed the man is from Accrington, which is around Fleetwood. Now, yes, you can say a quad bike isn't essential items. He was going to buy that. Of course it's not, okay? It's not an essential item. However, he's travelling with his household, and this goes back to where we draw the lines in terms of rights and people's ability to make their own decisions. He was travelling with his household to a destination, and then he travelled back with his household from where he was to his house. So he's came into contact with virtually no one, at the most maybe the buyer. But you have to ask, can we make these decisions for ourselves? Like I said, I wanted to start a debate on this, so I want you guys to let me know what you think in the comment sections below. And the rest of the article just highlights what we saw in the clip. The young man is heard saying, "You're harassing me, what have I done? I've done nothing wrong." The officer can then be heard saying, "Do you want me to show you the definition of harassment?" How bad is that? That's the police saying that. Public order, squaring up to a police officer. Shall I do that? That's the police officer saying that. Who are they going to believe, me or you? And that is the single most sinister point in all of this, because yes, they are going to believe him. They're not going to believe the young man, are they? Especially if it weren't filmed. If it weren't filmed, we wouldn't be even seeing this now. He would be in a jail cell, locked up for a crime he did not commit. That's terrible. And My final thought is, when all of this comes to an end, and it will, the pandemic will come to an end like all the pandemics before that, there are a lot of people in positions of authority and power who will not want to give up their authority. They won't want to do it. There are people out there who want to tell you when you can go to the shop, what you can buy, how often you can go out, where you can go out, who you can go out with. There are people like that in this world, and a lot of them are in positions of power right now, and they don't want this to end. Anyway, that's the debate started. Let me know what you guys think in the comment sections below. Thank you for watching the Hoggcast. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope it's thought-provoking, entertaining, interesting, or all of the above. Share this video because that helps me stay competitive with the big multinational corporations that YouTube has chosen to prioritise. Thank you and goodbye.